Hello ladies and gents, and Happy New Year. Hope you guys have had a lovely Christmas. So today we're going to cover my favourite shoes from 2025, but also we're going to be a little bit more specific, my favourite racing shoes as well. But before we start this video, please like, subscribe and share, because you never know who this video might help. So this shoe here, the Mafate 4, great shoe. I know this shoe didn't come out in 2025, but it's still one of my most reliable shoes. It's always like a backup shoe. It's always in the drop bag at any sort of long distance race. And it's just, yeah, one of those great shoes. It's a really good all-rounder, and it's just one of those shoes that lasts from a softness point of view when you are doing, say, those longer distance races. Now, I was disappointed with the Mafate 5, unfortunately. I just found there were pros and cons to that. The tongue was worse. I really enjoyed sort of the 8mm drop. I didn't enjoy that the forefoot was a little bit firmer. But let's be honest, we have been seeing that with the recent Hoka models, as in they are just getting a little bit more firm, which isn't a good thing. I do hope... I saw a picture the other day, I saw the new Speedgoat coming out, and that looks like the Speedgoat 5, but with a better upper. And that is, you know, something that needs to happen with Hoka. Essentially, that is like their flagship model. And it, you know, they updated to the Speedgoat 6, they improved the upper, but then they made the midsole a lot firmer. And it's just like, guys, your shoes in most cases should always be nice, soft and cushioned. That's why us heavier, slower runners buy your product. Second shoe. Now, the Altamesa 500, the North Face. Very impressed with this shoe. Probably one of my favourite shoes of the year, actually. The midsole, absolutely phenomenal. The upper is really good as well. Really wide forefoot, which you're seeing from a lot of brands now. You can see it in the new Nike Zagama, which is a shoe I'll be trialing next year. And yeah, phenomenal. Bought this shoe and hadn't worn it, and then went and did a 50 miler in it, and it was phenomenal. That's obviously something I don't advise people to do, but I'm usually quite aware of my feet as soon as I put a shoe on, whether that shoe's actually gonna work with me straight away. And that was the feeling I got when I stepped into the North Face shop the day before a 50 miler and picked up these shoes in Manchester and then ran. So this is coming out next year as well, the newer model, which I'm really looking forward to. I just hope they haven't played with the stack height, especially at the forefoot. It's a really good shoe, loads of underfoot protection, but it looks like what they've done is they've updated the laces, which is good. These are actually laces from my Endurus. But what they've done that seems a lot better is they've updated the outsole there. So this is branded as a road to trail shoe, but I must admit, I would say it's more predominantly trail, whereas the shoe that they're bringing out now is roughly the same sort of lug depth. I think it's 4mm, but it seems like they're just a bit more aggressive and they're more suited to trail. So yeah, really looking forward to this shoe. Well, sorry, the newer version of the shoe. I just hope they haven't ruined it. I also wore this shoe in June on my first 100 miler, and this was phenomenal. I started in the Mafate 4 because the conditions were a little bit wet and slippery, whereas actually I just wish I wore this shoe the whole way, because I feel like this would have been up to the task and a much more comfy shoe. But I picked this up at my drop bag and did the last, I think, 60 miles in this shoe. And it was like, yeah, putting pillows on your feet at such like a critical point in the race. So there is the North Face Altamesa 500 coming out next year. Very exciting. Now, this shoe here, the Topo Vista, or Topo, I don't know how you say it. Really good shoe. Really enjoy this shoe. I'm sorry it's so muddy. This shoe features quite a lot in my rotation. And yeah, really like this shoe. It's obviously, I think there's, I can't remember the two models they have, but it's like the Mountain Racer and yeah, I can't remember the other one, but it's like they've put both of them together. So they've put their soft long distance shoe with their more aggressive racy shoe, i.e. the Mountain Racer. Lug pattern's really good. Vibram with these guys is really good. They're really just durable shoes. The upper's really nice. The wider toe box as well, that's always welcome. And yeah, I just really enjoyed the shoe. Real good like heel collar. So I've done a few events in this shoe and also use it as a training shoe. This is definitely a shoe that falls into the category for me as a big day out shoe. A shoe that you can just keep on your feet for the whole day. You don't really have to change them. They can just handle the mileage, but especially they can handle us heavier runners. So now we're moving into a category of racing shoes that are not massive day out shoes personally for me, but they are really good fun shoes to train in, but to also race in. And I was really impressed with the Hoka Rocket X Trail. Now, I'm personally not a massive fan or an advocate for carbon trail shoes, just because the mechanics of carbon usually needs to be conducive to nice flat ground, and it needs to be really repetitive for you to get the most out of your carbon. But I must admit, you definitely know that these guys have a plate in. You will feel it more on the road sections. So this is a sort of shoe that you do have to be aware of that, as in you don't really feel the plate at all on trail, but when you have like road sections in your race, which most racers do, you can just feel it. It's very soft, very spongy, very fun to run in. It's really nice and light as well. Let's be honest, when we're wearing these trail shoes, so I'm a UK 10.5, in most cases, the shoe is going to weigh between 300 and 400 grams. And when I put this on, it's just a little bit lighter. It's just really nice to wear. So I really rate this shoe. I've tried the Tecton X2. I've tried the Tecton X3. But I must admit, the Rocket X Trail is actually a shoe where you notice there is a plate. Like I said, it's really for specific terrain, i.e. sort of your road to trail / hard pack trail. You're going to get the most out of that shoe because it has got quite a low lug depth. So yeah, nice wide. I probably should have went another half a size up because towards like say the marathon side of things, I can definitely feel my toes start to hurt. That could be the plate as well though. But yeah, fantastic shoe, Hoka Rocket X. And the reason actually I bought this, 'cause like I said, I'm not a massive fan of carbon trail shoes. It's just because they've basically done their road version and put some lugs on. And I was like, yeah, I know that's going to work really, really well. Now we're going to talk about probably most people's favorite shoe if they have trialed it. Now, I absolutely love this shoe. For me, it's not a massively big day shoe. It's now turned more into a training shoe and a shorter racing shoe. And that is the Sportiva Prodigio Pro. Now, sorry again, I've literally just been out in these for my hill session. Fantastic shoe. Did have issues at the beginning just because I caned them, if I'm honest. I wore them so much that I had to, I hope you can see it there, cut this cushion out. By the way, if you get the cushion that's rubbing on top of your foot, just pull it out. Bit of a life changer. And then I was getting the bit of the Achilles rubbing as well, which was annoying. But basically, I stopped wearing them as much, and then the shoe just got better. And I started rotating my shoes just a little bit more, and yeah, the shoe performed. What's really good about the shoe, real nice and light. It feels almost like a super shoe without a plate, which is really, really good. It's like got a real nice responsive foam. It's really nice and soft and bouncy and responsive. You've got that good feel, like ground feel when you're running with it. My only issue that I would love for them to do with the shoe is just improve like the Achilles area. So I almost want this sock fit, which is nice. Then I want it to sort of harden around here, just so you got a little bit more ankle support. Yeah, it's a very nimble shoe, a very fun shoe. I've always likened this to the Salomon Genesis S-Lab, but on steroids. So yeah, very good shoe. I'm looking forward to see what the Sportiva bring out next year. I know they're bringing out the Prodigio 2, but I think that's from the older model, whereas I don't know if they're going to update this model. It will be interesting to see. Really durable as well. Like I've absolutely caned this shoe now. The midsole's basically gone, but the lugs are still really, really good. And that's one of the best things for me with the Sportiva is that where they're a mountaineering brand and they've been around for a long time, they've got tons of experience of making stuff that's very tough and durable. And let's be honest, when you're spending in excess of over £140 on a running shoe, you want to be able to, you know, that shoe to last. And I must admit, that shoe has been phenomenal. Right, so now we're going to talk about some road shoes. Road. But actually, I've been really enjoying adding road sessions back into the mix. Essentially, at the beginning of last year, 2025, in January, I had sort of a small bout of shin splints, and it really was down to moving on to trails and being smart with my load management. I managed to get over that. But also, my coach, who used to be a podiatrist as well, advised me to get the Saucony guides. I think these are the 16s, 17s. And this shoe here has been absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, if you are dealing with something like shin splints, I would always say go and speak to the right profession, usually say a podiatrist, a physio, etc., and get advice from them. But for me, these shoes really worked. So I bought 2 pairs of them. Excuse me. I wore a pair to work because my job as a personal trainer, I'm just stood up most of the day. So I just thought, get a pair for work, and got a pair for these for the road sessions as well. And that worked really, really well. And final shoe. Now I've turned to these bad boys here, the Vaporfly. Really, really impressed with the engineering of this shoe, I must admit. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Very, very light. I was saying earlier, obviously, about lightness of shoes. You put something like this on, you're like, oh my God. I do have my own insole. So now basically when I'm running, I'll always need sort of some form of arch support, essentially. So I don't think that changes the mechanics of this shoe too much, but yeah, what a bit of fun that has been to run in. So I'm roughly doing 1 road session now per week, and it's like an interval speed session. So I just want to get the most out of that session. So sometimes I'll wear those other shoes, those Sauconys, depending on how I feel. And other times I'll put these bad boys on, and yeah, it's phenomenal about how they make you feel when you're running. Just literally, like, it improves your form straight away. As soon as you get to a certain gear, like these are no good for running 10-minute miles in, but as soon as I get below 7:30, it changes. You can feel the shoe actually working. I picked these up for 140 in the Black Friday deal, £140 that is. And yeah, I just thought, why not give them a try? I know loads of people bang on about them, but yeah, I've really, really enjoyed this shoe, and I was really impressed with it. Relatively wide at the toe box as well. Obviously narrow at the heel, don't get me wrong. And to be mindful of these, of like the terrain you run on as well. I've really had to be careful of the ground I'm running these on. These are very, very delicate shoes, basically. But yeah, I've really enjoyed using these for my interval sessions, and would highly recommend. Just really fun. Really, really fun. So yes, that's the first video of 2026, just giving you some recommendations, my sort of likes of racing shoes from last year. Tried and tested, obviously, by myself, paid for by myself, so I have no obligation to tell porcupines. Really looking forward to some of the shoes that are coming out next year. I'll do a video on that as well. The things I'll be looking for in a shoe, and certain brands I'll be looking to invest in, give them shoes a try. Because obviously there was a massive shoe fair in America recently. I've been looking at Humble Running's page and the Conversational Paces page, and they've obviously been showing us some of these new shoes that are coming out. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to some of those models. And if you found that video helpful, please like, subscribe and share. It really does help the channel.